because a lot of people don't realize what the title and escrow do or where we come from, and they'll call us for lender questions. It's like, well, let me talk to your lender.
Yep.
So we can't handle that part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Break It Down with Braydon. Super excited. I've got Schmidt and Marlene Ruggeri on with me today. Thanks for joining me, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
This is actually our escrow, two of our escrow officers at our Gainey branch, and I've actually had the privilege of working with them for the last, 7 years now, I think is actually what it's coming up on.
Yes, it is.
So I apologize you've been having to deal with me for so long, but thanks for putting up with me.
Easy.
We love having Braydon here.
Tell everybody a little bit about what you guys do, what your roles are here at Great American.
Well, we do your escrows. We do a fabulous job. Braydon brings us the clients. We do the work, and whatever you want, you just let us know, and we make sure it's taken care of.
Awesome. And you're the branch manager here?
I'm the branch manager of the office. Marlene's the assistant branch manager of the office.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about the title and escrow process. So we get a contract in here today. What does that whole process look like?
We get the contract in, the agents email it to us, we get all the information, we need the commission, we need the contact information for the buyer, seller, the lender, and then just let us go with it. We'll contact everybody, we'll make sure everything's taken care of in a timely manner and keep you up to date and posted, and we'll close your deals on time.
Awesome. Can you elaborate a little bit more of what that process looks like for somebody that might be greener to the industry and doesn't know exactly what a title company does? Can you really break it down for us? So you get a contract. What does that step actually look like?
Yeah, we get the contract, and then we'll order the earnest money. We send the earnest money out to everyone, and usually if I know it's a new home buyer, then I like to call them and give them, tell them who I am,
Yep.
what our position is, because a lot of people don't know. Do we work for the lender? They don't know where we stand.
Yeah.
So we work with the title. You're going to get a preliminary title report from us, and then you can review that. We'll go over it when you get it, and we'll send them an opening package with their information, and kind of answer their questions along the way. Because a lot of people don't realize what the title and escrow do or where we come from, and they'll call us for lender questions. It's like, well, let me talk to your lender.
Yep.
Because we can't handle that part of it.
It blows me away, actually, how many people have no idea what a title company actually does. I get questions literally every day that are like, well, what do you actually do? And so I was like, what, it'd be a great idea for me to actually have one of our teams on here and talk about it so we could actually elaborate on what we do on a daily basis.
That is a good idea because we have to clear title all the time. People don't realize that there's a lot of issues on title reports. If people are deceased and maybe loans were paid off but the releases were never recorded,
Yep.
or maybe somebody took title and they were married and the spouse didn't file a disclaimer deed. So you are correct. There is a lot, and people don't realize what all is involved.
Give us some other examples of some things that come up on title.
Well,
Obviously the common ones.
the common ones, like, we need a death certificate, or if somebody was in bankruptcy, we need approval from the bankruptcy court. Again, people have had liens that maybe were 10, 15, 20 years old, and they've paid them off, and the release was never recorded.
Yep.
They don't know, and they have no idea what the loan number was, so you have to research that. I have one now where we had to... The seller's deceased. We had to find ex-wives because they didn't sign disclaimer deeds. There's always something going on.
Yep.
And you don't know until you bring it to escrow that there are all these other issues.
Yep.
And being in the business as long as I've been, every day you still see something that you have never seen before. It's actually amazing. It's amazing.
Carol started when she was 18, so she's got a little over 20 years experience here in the
Oh,
industry.
I love him more and more.
And often people, sometimes between family members or friends, would maybe just transfer a title without actually getting title insurance. And you find that in a lot of different families. And then if you're transferring title so many times, that's 15 years, 20 years later,
Yep.
these people have maybe had judgments. So you got to be careful who you're putting on title with you, because there's judgments that maybe you don't know about, and now it attaches to the property.
Yep. And what is that implications for
So if
them?
there's a judgment, and let's say that I deeded a property to you, 15 years later, now you go to sell it. well, you're going to have to pay off my judgment.
Yep.
Because it's against me and it travels with the title.
Yeah. Marlene, how'd you get started in this?
My mother.
For those that haven't made the connection yet, this is a mother-daughter team, so it's awesome to have that relationship in the office here, and makes things pretty easy on weekends and everything like that, because you guys are always communicating on a regular basis anyways.
Yes, but all of the people in our office are fabulous.
We have a great team.
We have a great team, yes.
Absolutely. Why Great American?
Because we're great, but why not? We're a local-owned title company. Sometimes we can get things that we need faster because we don't have to go through a corporate thing to get something waived or this or that or get an answer to something. The core of our company, all the people, they feel the same. They want what's best for the client. It's a wonderful, wonderful company. Wonderful, independently owned, kind of family-based company.
Yep.
Everybody really cares about everybody. So coming to work, it's like we're at home. We're just having a great time. And work should be fun, too, not just work.
Yep.
So I can't ever imagine going anywhere but Great American.
Yep.
I've been here 14 years, and I will continue to be here.
Obviously, there's a lot of highs and lows with this business. What's kind of your favorite part about it?
I like meeting with people, with the clients. I like the interaction that we have with everyone. I really enjoy that.
Kind of a different scenario each time.
It is. It's always a new challenge.
Yep.
Always learning something new, no matter how long you've been in the industry. You never know it all.
Yep.
Constantly learning, and things are changing and evolving.
Yep. How about you?
I absolutely love the people.
Yeah.
I love meeting the buyers when they're in, the sellers, which haven't happened that much since COVID. Absolutely love the agents, the real estate agents. Just love making friends with everybody.
Yep.
That's absolutely what I love. It is such a people person that, as you know, because you're such a people person.
Oh, thank you.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all relationship.
100% relationship.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Providing the level of service that, of course, their clients are expecting, but
Yes.
But then also
Well,
making sure we have those relationships.
Lenders and real estate agents, we are a reflection of them. So
Love
if
that.
they're giving their trust to us by giving them their transactions, we have to give the same type of service that they give and expect, because again, we're a reflection of who they are.
Yep.
So we want to make them look good. If we make them look good, then they're happy with us.
Yeah, you guys
know.
you ladies are the last thing that they have when they walk away from the closing table of the transaction. So
Exactly.
it's very important.
We
to have
want
that.
everybody to be happy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some examples of things you kind of have seen changed in the industry, things that are changing in the industry that you're excited about, not excited about.
Well, everybody's going towards, there's going to be a lot more online everything.
Yep.
That's changing. I don't know if I'm so excited about that. Everybody, so many people are having their own title companies. There's a million of those. I'm not excited about that.
Yep. What do you think the benefit of us is for being kind of a larger local agency in town versus some of those startups? How would you kind of compare us to those?
Well, we've been around for a long time. We are underwritten by the major underwriters in title insurance.
Talk about that.
Talk about that?
Yeah, our underwriters.
We have all the underwriters. We're underwritten by First American, Fidelity, Old Republic, First National. So any underwriter that the new startups have, we have them all. We can do anything. And depending on the scenario of what your contract is, if one underwriter maybe would look at something one way versus another, we can change it to an underwriter to make it easier. But we're backed by all the top underwriters.
And you, as the escrow officer, get to choose that underwriter.
We get to choose the underwriter.
Basis,
Yes, we do. Very rarely does an agent or a client know about the different underwriters,
Yep.
but it's very important because if you do have a claim, which is not very often, but when you do, you want to make sure you're backed by the underwriter that's going to follow through with their claims.
I get asked that probably more on the commercial side than I do the residential side. They're more pertinent to ask,
Absolutely,
hey,
they
who's
are.
underwriting this policy?
Right.
And they always ask, what's the difference between your policy then and going directly to First American or Fidelity or whatever? Can you kind of elaborate on that for us?
Well, to be honest with you, there is no difference between going to First American or Fidelity or us.
Yep.
It's, again, the relationship, the service.
It's the exact same policy, though, correct?
It's exactly the same policy.
Yep.
There is absolutely no difference. The price cost is the same.
Yep.
We offer everything the same. It's just it's the relationship you have, the trust that you have in your escrow officer. No difference as far as policy, price, anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any other disparities you see between us and the larger underwriters?
The larger underwriters? Yeah. Well, when you're working for a First American or a Fidelity, you are tied into the corporate world. This is on a different note, but our company does, when the market goes down, the large companies are going to lay off. So you're going to have escrow officers that you might have worked with that are gone.
Yep.
We've been through everything with the company here. We don't lay off. We do everything we possibly can to keep our employees. Yep. Our head people know that everybody has a family, they have obligations, and they want to take care of them. I think that's the major difference between working for a large corporation and working for like Great American Title.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. It's large enough to have the power, but it's small enough to still feel like a
Absolutely
family.
large enough to have the power. We have as much power as our underwriters do.
Yep.
And we are more of a family. We're closer knit. Everybody pretty much knows everybody. They take care of you.
Yeah.
And if our bosses take care of us, it goes down. We're going to take care of our employees. We're going to take care of the clients. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about this Gainey office. So this is where our
Gainey
podcast
office
actually is in. So if you guys had the opportunity to come in here, and this is where we're filming all the time.
I think we've been in the Gainey office we've been in this location for 12 years.
Okay.
I believe it's been 12 years. I worked out of corporate for a couple years when I first came to Great American. And it's kind of interesting because like 20 years ago, I wanted an office in this building. And of course, now I have it.
Yep.
Yes, because there were a lot of real estate agents in this building back then. And if you're just asking about Gainey, about our people, you can't go to a better office. Marlene's been here with us 20 years. Debbie's been with me 30 years, 32 years. Haley, who's a fabulous escrow officer, has been with us for 10 years. We're a family.
Yeah.
And we kind of we do work as a team. So if one of us is off, everybody knows what's going on in the other person's file. Any client can call and talk to anybody in our office. So if I'm not here, Marlene's not here, Debbie, Haley, everybody knows what's going on, which makes it easier for the client.
Yep.
You don't say, oh, she's off today, I can't help you, call back tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
Yeah.
and most of our clients do know that,
Yep.
and I think they have a comfort zone with that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I love working with you guys, you ladies, is everyone can always jump in at any point
Right.
and have the answer. I could email Haley or whatever.
Right.
She could tell me the
She
answer
can
for
tell you
anything.
anything, because it's not, I always like to tell everybody in the office, it's not your file, it's not our file, it's not your transaction, it's ours,
Yep.
because we're an office. And truthfully, nobody can do everything by themselves.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, you've made a remarkable system here, and it's
we are definitely 100% a team.
Yeah.
If one person wins, we all win. Kind of like the Suns, the basketball team. No, seriously.
Yep.
They're a team. They don't just look out for themselves. They look out for the players.
Yep.
They all want everybody to succeed, and that's what we want here.
Cancellations.
Mm-hmm.
What's like the general fall off that we're seeing right now?
A few cancel. You mean for the canceled?
Yeah, like appraisals, inspections, just falling out because they found a new home. The seller decided, oh, I actually don't want to sell my house now because I could get $200,000 a week later.
Yeah, I find that there's been a few cancellations with maybe buyers are putting in offers a little bit, just hoping that it's going to get accepted. So
Yep.
maybe they have more than one
Yep.
that they put in an offer on. So then they'll cancel before the inspection period.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm finding most now.
Yes. There are cancellations, but truthfully, there's less.
Yeah.
And it is correct what Marlene said. You do have buyers putting in offers on different properties just to tie it up because it's so competitive right now. I mean, you have 15, 20 offers on one property.
Right.
As the agents know and you know, it's been listed a day or two. So, yes.
Yeah, offers 20%, 25% over asking
Absolutely.
price. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Makes me feel bad for the people that really, really need a home.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they can't compete right now.
Well, it's amazing how many people have sold their house 2-3 months ago,
Yes.
and now they can't find a home, and now they're
Yes.
almost like pricing themselves out of the market and couldn't afford their house that they sold
Absolutely.
3 months ago or whatever,
Yeah.
because that house has
Absolutely.
gone up 120
Yes.
grand,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
It has. It has. I don't know how the poor agents are doing it, you know, especially the buyer's agents. It's very, very hard for them right now.
Yep.
It's a very tough market.
Yeah, if you're not an out-of-state buyer coming into this market with a bunch of money and
Right.
and willing to do kind of whatever
Right.
it takes to get your family a home, it's definitely not like a reseller's market.
It's
out there.
hard. I mean, I've had agents tell me, or buyers that have come in, we've put in 15 offers.
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult is that, and how depressing for everybody?
How does this differentiate between 07 and 08?
07, 08, it was so much easier. Quite honestly, we had the recession.
Yep.
We had all the foreclosures. People lost their homes. And unfortunately, in that time, we had a lot of investors coming in and buying the homes. Homes didn't appreciate like they're doing now.
Right.
It's been a long time since we've had this kind of appreciation. And as you know, the MLS, there's hardly any listings on there. So everybody's fighting for it.
Yep.
In 2008, we had thousands
Yeah,
and
too
thousands.
many homes, right.
Way too many.
Right.
So that it's total opposite.
Yeah, good point.
And the market just dropped,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, and then there was the Ability to Repay Act and everything that went into place for
Totally.
lending requirements and stuff.
Totally.
So yeah, it definitely is. It's a different market now, but it's
100% different, you
it
know.
reminds me of just as wild as it was back then, but
And
it's
it-
just
and
different,
the other
different
side,
kind of wildness.
exactly.
Yeah.
People, they couldn't afford to keep their homes because they couldn't make the payments.
Right.
Or they couldn't, if they wanted to move, they couldn't afford to sell their home because the value had depreciated so greatly.
Yep.
Now, you've got so much value and equity, but you can't afford to move because so does everybody else.
Right.
So you're going to pay so much.
Catch 22.
Absolutely,
Yep.
yeah.
Where do you see the general market going? Where do you think where do you think this is heading?
I think it's going to stabilize. I think there's going to be more houses coming available.
Yep.
And I think it'll be pretty steady. I'm hopeful of that.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm not an agent, but I think we're still going to see appreciation this year. All indications are that 2022 is still going to see a lot of appreciation, where it's still going to be a seller's market.
Yep.
And it's going to take a while. I don't know. Even in 2023, if we'll be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It's definitely an unknown for sure. And,
Yes, it is.
It'll kind of be dictated by what interest rates are doing, and
Interest rates are still low, though. I mean, so even
Oh,
if they go
yeah.
up, let's just say 5%, it's going to be higher than what we've seen.
Yep.
But it's still a great interest rate. I
yeah,
mean,
and the cost to borrow is still really cheap.
Of course, the cost to borrow is so reasonable. And historically, as everybody knows, our rates have been so low.
Yep.
But our housing has gone up so much that even though rates will still stay historically low, it's still going to be difficult for people to qualify.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking you could buy a $400,000 home that now is going to be $750,000 or $800,000. Granted, rates are cheap, but if you only make X amount of money,
Right.
it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it seems like I've had a lot more friends that are having to drive to the outskirts a little
The
bit.
outskirts,
having to go to
yes.
Gilbert and go to Mesa,
Yes.
go to the Queen Creeks and
Buckeye,
the
exactly.
Buckeyes, yep.
Yes.
Kind of have to do what you got to do, and you got to drive sometimes now.
Well, yes, but if you figure we're going back years and years ago, out in Peoria, that was way out there.
Yep, very true.
And people had to go out there. I'm really dating myself. You know, you go out to like Metro Center and you think, oh my God, this is so far out. It's the same. Life is always the same.
It's true. Well, in Arizona, a commute isn't really a commute. We have no traffic compared to most of the major cities, still comparatively.
Do you commute on the freeway?
I mean, it's not as bad, though, as like L.A. or any other
No,
major
but
freeway.
two of the people that
Austin,
work for
Texas.
me have to it takes them an hour to an hour and 20 minutes to get to work.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's hard for them.
Yeah.
But again, one lives way out, probably by Lake Pleasant.
Yep.
So that's difficult.
Yeah, it's a drive over there. Mm-hmm. What other stuff do you guys kind of got coming up that's kind of cool on the horizon, or anything you want to chat about?
What do we have coming up? You tell us.
Well, we've got Agents Benefiting Children coming up.
Yes.
Super excited about that.
Yes.
So we're always going to be involved with that.
And everybody that's involved with that does an absolutely phenomenal job.
Yeah, very excited. So if anybody wants to get involved with Agents Benefiting Children, that's through my local philanthropy group that I'm involved with, the Scottsdale 2030 Club, and we've got 36 residential teams signed up and 42 commercial teams right now. So we'd love to get you guys involved. But yeah, other than that.
Yes, Braydon is very good. He's so involved with our community. You raise so much money for all the different charities. And as you know, as you've told everybody, our company donates 7.5% of our basic escrow fee to a charity of the client's choosing, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
The whole company gives back to the community.
Yeah, it's awesome that we have that community outreach program.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, very cool thing that we have.
Yes.
I always touch base on that because it's something unique that we have. And
it is.
Being a locally owned and operated company, that obviously is apparent that the community is important to us.
Extremely.
You know, with how involved the owners are as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Tell everybody how they could get a hold of you.
Well, you can get a hold of us by calling the Gainey branch at Great American Title, 602-773-3280. Or you can always contact Braydon, too, and he can say, hey, give this guy a call.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for another episode of Break It Down with Braydon. See you guys soon.
Have a great day.